Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back in your English grammar class for standard 7th. And today's your topic is verbs, finite and non-finite. Have a look. Page number 50, chapter number 9, verbs, finite and non-finite. Your heading is verbs. So, tell me one thing, what you understand by the term verbs? Verbs. We talk about the earlier classes, then we can say that if we define it with simple and easy language, then we can say that verbs meaning is action words. You can say that action words can be defined as, can be termed as verbs. So here you can say that verbs are the word that shows some actions, or according to the definition at page number 50, a verb is a word that indicates an action, event or states in a sentence. Like running, run, eat, down, skipping, sleeping, jumping, crying, laughing, laugh. These all are actions. So these all are verbs. So, and there's one more thing, it may change form to express tenses. Yes, with the help of verb, we can suggest that the given sentence belongs to which tense. Like it may be in past form, present form, or progress form, that is ing form. So now have a look. A verb is a word that indicates an action, event or state in a sentence. It may change form to express tense, as I have told you. But there are some verb forms that function as verbs and may also act as noun or modifier. Yes. Now, after some time in your chapter, we will talk about some different forms of the verb which behaves like a noun also, sometimes subject also. So these are the finite, and we divide it, or if we categorize it, then we will get two types or two forms here, finite and non-finite. So first category is your finite verbs. Finite verbs means main form, main verb. So finite verbs are the main verbs of a sentence. In the given sentence, that is your main. Do you know one thing? Each and every sentence has a verb show, because if the given group of words which make complete sense is a verb, is a sentence, then it's compulsory that sentence, in that sentence is a verb. So verb, infinite verbs are the main verb. The main verb in the sentence, which is the main verb, is your finite verbs. Now they change their forms. They can change their form to agree with the person or the number of subject and to show tenses. Take an example, like now, as in your book it's given that verb can change according to your subject. So have a look. Subject, verb. Subject, first subject is she, second is they. They are two subjects. First one is she and second one is they. So she, if we talk about the verb or action, eat. Here the action is eat, or verb is eat. Then she eat. But in first condition, she is a singular. So we need to add s. She eats. Here, here the verb is she eats and here they eat. So now, according to your subject, the verb behaves. Now, for example, I go to the gym. I am going to the gym right now. Now, if the verb is talking about the progressive form or continuous form, then we need to add ing in your given verb. Second is Hema goes to the gym. Why? Hema is a singular. So here go, we need to add es in our verb. But if we talk about the above sentence, I go, we cannot use s or es with verb if the subject is I. So there is I go, but with Hema, it's a Hema goes. Now again we is again a plural form, so there is no need to add s or es. So just simply say we go to the gym or we go to the Agra somewhere else. So now we can say that in each cases we can say that the verb go changes according to the given subject. So now the word eat this is a main verb, so we can say that it is finite verb. It is finite verb. So now let's move on to a second form, that is non-finite. Non-finite means non-finite verbs are the verbs that do not show tenses or nor do they change with the person or number of subjects. So if we talk about the non-finite, so non-finite verbs does not depend on the subject or situation or tenses. So it simply behaves as they are given in the sentence. For example, he loves talking. The example is given that he loves talking. So here we can say that they are not the main verb of the sentence. Yes, they are not main verb. Finite is the main verb, but non-finite is not a main verb and do not have a subject. Now he loves talking. He loves. Loves is your main verb of finite, but talking is your non-finite. So here talking, the word talking or verb talking does not depend on he or your given subject. So it is free from your given subject. Now again, some people love talking. Again, some people love. Love is your main verb, but talking is your non-finite verb. So it does not depend again on your subject. I too have talking to anyone. Again, subject is I, but talking does not depend on the subject I. It's free from your given subject. In all three cases or all three sentences, we have seen that the word talking the word talking is same in each and every condition, whether the given subject is singular or plural or I or you, whatever it is given. So now my dear students, here there are three main forms of non-finite, that is infinitive, gerunds and participle. So what is gerunds, what is participle, what is infinite? Just turn your page number 52. Page number 52. First topic is your infinite. First topic is your infinitives. Infinitives. What is the meaning of infinitives? Infinitives use the base form of the verb. If you talk about the infinitives always use the base form. That is the base form, like go, eat, drink. That is your base form. Base form of verb, but with or without to. We can use the word T or to. The word to if we want. Otherwise, if there is no need, then we can use it without to also. Like and they do not change form with person or number. not show tense. One more thing, infinitives are most commonly used with or without to function as a noun in a sentence. Basically, infinitives use the word to. For example, take an example like to look, to swim, to eat, to drink. So have a look. We like to read. No, we like to read. Jaya wanted study abroad. No, Jaya wanted to study abroad. This is a form of infinitives. Now one more thing, there are some verbs like enjoy, finish, avoid, dislike and admit. They are not normally followed by an infinitive. So just have a look again. Have a look the given special verbs that are enjoy, finish, avoid, dislike and admit. Now there is some other thing also that infinitives can be used at your starting of your sentence, at the end of your sentence or at middle of your sentence according to the situation. So have a look. You want to cook this. Middle, at starting, to cook this is easy. At starting of your sentence, they like to cook this. Again middle. So now in these three sentences we have seen that infinitives can be used at your starting of your sentence, at the end of your sentence or in the middle of your given sentence. Now the next form is gerunds. What is gerunds? Have you heard about ing form? Yes, verbs ing form. Going, jumping, eating, sleeping, crying, laughing. Lots of words are there with ing forms. So if we talk about verbs ing form, which behaves like, we can say that which behaves like a noun here, which behaves like a noun in a sentence, that is called gerund. Like gerunds are the ing forms of verbs. Gerunds function as a noun in a sentence. They can function, or one more thing, at most of the time it behaves like a noun, but sometimes also behaves like a subject, direct object or indirect object of the verb. What is direct object and what is indirect object? In your previous chapter, you have already studied about your direct object and indirect object. That was your transitive and intransitive. The chapter name was transitive and intransitive. So in that chapter, we have already studied about what is direct object and what is indirect object. So gerund sometimes behaves like a, sometimes function like a, as a subject, direct object or indirect object of the verb, or as the object of preposition in the sentence. For example, we like reading. We like reading. We all like reading. Yes, obviously, especially you are a student and I am a teacher. So this is understood part of our life that we all like reading. So we like reading. Here reading is gerund. Gerund, reading is the object. Here what is gerund? Gerund is behaving like an object. We like. We is your subject. Like is your verb, main verb, and reading. Reading is your object. Yes. Next one. They stood out of collecting funds. They stood out for collecting funds. Now here, gerund collecting is the object of the preposition for. Yes. Here the preposition is used preposition is for, and after for the word collecting. So collecting is behaving like an object for the preposition for, for. So my dear students, gerund is very easy topic in all the given three topics. So we can say that gerund is simply the verbs ing form which is used in a sentence as a noun. But sometimes it the function of this gerund is as subject or object. Object may be direct or indirect according to the given situation in the sentence. So now next is your participles. What is participles? Again, participles, you have seen your verbs chart, present participles, past participle, have you seen? Yes. So participles are the ing and past tense form, like worked, jumped, that form of the verbs that function as an adjective. Yes, participles behave like an adjective in the given sentence, and at the end of the sentence it may be ing, or if the verb in the verb form is ing form, then it's known that present form, or if the verb is ended with d or ed, like have a look, d, ed, eaten, like that, taken. So this is your past participle form. Have a look to example. I saw a shooting star. I saw a shooting star. Shooting, ing form, verb is added with ing, so it is present participle form. Now have a look. Just have a look, page number 53. Example third. We ate roasted peanuts on the beach. Roasted. What is the spelling of roasted? R-O-A-S-T-E-D. Roasted. So now here it is behaving like a past participle form. Now broken toys were lying around everywhere. Broken. What is spelling of broken? B-R-O-K-E-N. Broken. Last ended with en. So again here the word broken is your past participle form, or so we can say that the given sentence, broken toys were lying around everywhere, represent here. What is broken toys? Broken is defining the quality of your toys. So it behaves like adjective. What is adjective? Adjective is something which define the quality. So broken is the quality of your toys. Here the toys is broken. So here it related to the past participle, and it is behaving like an adjective in each and every condition. Shooting star. Shooting star. Which type of star is this? Shooting star. So again, shooting is word which is showing adjective for the given noun star. And in the third sentence, we ate roasted peanuts. We ate roasted peanuts. Which type of peanuts? Roasted. So roasted is an adjective for peanuts. So if we talk about participles, participles is the word which behaves like an adjective in the given sentence for the given noun, and it may be past participle which ended with d, en, and it may be present participle that ended with ing form. So now turn back at page number 54. Now there in the box, just have a look, remember point. Gerunds functions as nouns and participles function as adjectives. As I have told you that participles function. What is the function of participle? The function of participles is behaving like an adjective. And what is the function of gerunds? The function of gerunds is behaving like a noun. So my dear students, that's all for your this topic. So the topic is your topic, chapter number 9, verbs, finite and non-finite. It's now completed. So when you get your manual, just do your work in your notebook. Till then,